I experienced premature ejaculation for 5 years, and everything started when I was 15 years old. I was dating one of the hottest girls that I ever met, and as I was dating through her teenage, I was very shocked for the fact that she was with me. Imagine how I felt when it reached to the moment of having sex. It was the first girl that I ever saw naked in my life. She had a beautiful and gorgeous body, and I still remember how she looked me at the eyes with all this love and excitement. And do you know what I did? Absolutely nothing, because in the moment that I was trying to put my dick in, I already busted. And I remember how her face went from being all happy and excited to be like this, like feeling disgusted and frustrated. At the beginning I thought this was normal because, I was young, it was my first time, those kind of things could always happen, and it's supposed to be like that, right? But it just kept happening over and over again, and it reached to the point when it was a real painful problem, and I was very desperate for answers to how to fix this. And I found nothing. I've tried all the advice that I found on the internet from the couple of people that I asked. Things like try to masturbate before having sex or think about other stuff while making it. None of that worked. And the more things I tried, the more it seemed like I was going to be premature for the rest of my life. Like this was going to be something that I'm gonna have to deal with forever. I wasn't able to enjoy sex at all. I even consider myself a virgin still. I didn't feel like a real man. It was like I was castrated. This was absolute pain for years. But the worst part was seeing one of the girls that I loved telling me that she loved me as well, but because she didn't believe that this had a fix, our relationship would probably die one day, as already happened to me in the past. Imagine how shocking it was the day that we made it non-stop. And I want to help you to experience the same. My name is Jesus Noya, and I help men to last longer in bed, become sexually dominant, and be more attractive. All this while avoiding the deadly mistakes that I made through my sex life. This comes from a medical background of being a medicine student and 5 years of struggling with things like premature ejaculation, performance anxiety, and non-existent sexual confidence. Today I'm gonna save you from the pain of going through the valley of disappointment, believing that you will have to suffer a terrible sex life forever, and deal with premature ejaculation for the rest of your life. I'm gonna help you to have limited motivation to overcome PE, and with this message you're gonna be able to last longer in bed and increase your sexual confidence. And if you want to be able to fuck for hours and leave her biting her lips anytime she thinks about you just because of how much of a great lover you are, go and click the link in the description right now, because we're gonna make sure you live towards your full sex potential where you're able to pound her like an animal and you become the man that blows her mind, body, and spirit. And I'll do whatever is in my hands for that to happen. So again, go and click the link in the description. Today I'm gonna walk you through the system of beliefs that I had to eventually overcome premature ejaculation, even when everything seemed that was against me. Because I'm sure that if it wasn't for the mindset that I had, I would probably be today swallowing antidepressants and putting number screens on my dick. And this is something terrible. I spoke to around 100 men with premature ejaculation, and we all agree that this sucks and that it's painful as fuck. But it was even more sad for me talking to those men and seeing how a lot of them, they just already gave up. And I was trying to encourage them to start to take action, because these really have a fix. They haven't been focusing on the important stuff and they are already giving up. That makes no sense. But because they were so fixing their mind of their current situation, they say the same, unfortunately. That's why having the right mindset is so important. Now, there's a couple of limiting beliefs that you may have that I want to break totally right now. A couple of them I used to have them before, and I see a lot of men suffer the same thing. The first one is thinking that you mandatory need drugs to fix it. Like you need antidepressants, SSRIs, Viagra, Cialis, those kind of stuff. I remember discussing this with a guy before I read it, because a lot of them were speaking about the kind of doses that they have for things like Apoxetine, etc. And I started to ask, why have they tried that they're already taking those things? And one of them came and said, some people fix their premature ejaculation in different ways. In my case, I need drugs. He literally said, I need drugs. And he was saying like being offended for the fact that I was saying that this is something that you could overcome naturally. And in the moment that he expressed himself like that, I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm not even gonna try, because this is the kind of people that they don't want actually help. They want to stay in their current situation. Because if he was actually looking for an alternative to antidepressants where he could enjoy his sex life in a natural way without having to take pills before going to have sex, there was a lot of things that he could improve, but he said, no, I'm special, I need this, and I don't have to try anything else. Something that I want you to understand is that you as a man, You have a body that has been developed for millions of years of evolution to reach to the point that is today. You have been designed to give the most pleasurable experiences to a woman. The way that your penis works is so incredible that it's able to reach to the specific points in the vagina of a woman, and she's able to have like metaphysical experience if you use it properly. That's how incredible it is, and you have that ability in yourself. You just have to develop it. The fact that we have premature ejaculation, that we come early, is because we have been fucking up that natural system in some way. So what we have to do is start to fix that. You haven't been designed to take drugs and pills to perform something so natural like sex. That's not normal. That's not how things are supposed to be. So you don't need drugs at all to fix this. Now the second limiting belief that is kind of similar to the first one is that you're special and nothing would work for you. Because some people have been able to overcome the premature ejaculation in a good way and they start to have fulfilling sex life, but that's not going to be you. You are the exception, and it doesn't matter what you try, it's just not going to work. And all that is left for you is either getting comfortable with the fact that you're not going to be able to have sex, or using pills or other stuff to manage it. This is a terrible mindset to have. Imagine seeing hundreds or thousands of people getting success with something that may work for you as well, and just beforehand saying, no, I'm special, that's not going to work for me. You're literally cutting your own wings. This is something that I always see, for example, with fat people that want to lose weight. They know what they have to do, and it's actually super simple. It's just diet and exercise. That's it. But for some reason in the world, they're the only exception where that's not going to work. They say that they try, it work for them. They say that they have thyroid problems. They say things like 99% of diets don't work. And it's very funny because by natural law, if they actually did those two steps, there's absolutely no way that they don't get in shape. They just have to perform those two steps properly, and that's it. They're gonna be better soon. If it hasn't worked for them, it's not because they're special or they have born like that, like the exception. It's because most probably they're doing something wrong. And the same happens with your sex performance. There are some practices that by natural law are going to improve how you have sex, and there's absolutely no way for that to not to work. Things like your psychological state, your hormonal balance, and your emotional connection. If you improve those three things, there's no way that you do not overcome premature ejaculation. But some men keep believing that they were made by God in that way. Go out of that mindset as soon as possible. Remember, any kind of belief that is not serving you, just delete it. It's going to the trash. The theory limiting belief is that this will take so many years. Like, alright, I know that this could be overcome naturally, but it's going to take a long time. And again, that's not true. Even if you've been suffering PE for 20 or 30 years, most probably that happened because you were never addressing the real problem. As a lot of men, you will probably try to treat it with pills, creams, and that kind of stuff. You were only treating the symptoms instead of the root causes, and that's why it took so long. But to overcome it from the root, it's actually pretty quick. I spent 5 years dealing with this because I was shooting in the dark. I was blind. I didn't know how I was supposed to address this. But in the moment that I found the right practice, in less than 30 days, I went from 30 seconds to 30 minutes. In less than 1 month. Of course, a lot of the training that I was making before helped me, but that specific thing that was my mental state was in that moment the thing that I needed to focus the most. And that's why the success was so exponential when I started to target it. But in any case, even if it takes 1 or 5 years, which one is the other option? Being frustrated sexually, having sex for 1 minute maximum, resigning to have sex with women and getting pounded by a man. In the other hand, you have being able to pound a girl like an animal which is screaming your name like she's getting killed. I'd rather take this one no matter the time. I don't know about you. And the final limiting belief that it says, and this is actually very funny, is seeing men saying that they actually like having premature ejaculation, and they even develop like kinks or fetishes for it. And that's a belief that they have, not because they genuinely like it or enjoying coming too early, but because as they are ready to surrender it, they think that they're gonna be for this for the rest of their life. They want to like it, they want to start to enjoy this in some pervert way. And that's actually something that happened to me, and it was super painful. As I wasn't able to satisfy one of the girls that I was dating in the past, I started to believe that this was because this probably wasn't my thing, you know, like being the one that is there performing the act. Probably my thing. What I really liked was just seeing, just watching. That's something that is called voyeurism. And I literally started to encourage my girl to go and sleep with other guys so we all could enjoy our sex lives. And I know that sounds gross and terrible, but I'm telling you because you need to understand the danger of having the wrong beliefs in your mind. Don't go through the same mistakes as me. No real man enjoys not being able to make love in the way that he wants with his woman. Premature ejaculation is a pain, something to overcome. Don't see it in other way. And why men think like this? Why do they have this kind of beliefs? It's because most people in general have something called fixed mindset. People with fixed mindset believes that individual traits cannot change no matter how much effort you put into them. It's like you were born in some way and you are like that things are like this and they cannot change. People think about this for their skills, for their intelligence, how they look, how attractive they are, for how social they are, for how much money they have. It is actually a common trait. It's like seeing the kids in the school, for example, and you're saying, oh, this kid is actually very intelligent, and then you see a next one that is very dumb, and you think that is because they're just like that. But the reality is that the kids that have a better nose, but probably he just put in a little bit more effort and he received more support. Well, the kid that is dumb probably is not receiving support at all or help from his parents, or he's just not putting as much effort as the first kid. It's not a matter of talent or something genetic, but most people usually believe that that's how things are. With B, it makes you believe that this is something that you're gonna have to be dealing with for the rest of your life, and if that's the case, you don't take action in overcoming it, you just deal with it. So the right mindset that I want you to have, and it's the same one that I have for everything, is growth mindset. It is totally the opposite from the fixed mindset. It's believing that no matter which one is the situation, you can do something about it. Everything relies on your effort and how much action you take to solve the problem. I wanted to apply that for every aspect of your sex life. Always think that no matter what, you can improve it. You can always be better. You can always go up. And all that is your responsibility. It relies on you to make that a reality. That even if it takes time, it doesn't matter. You will still go ahead because you're not going to give up on having the sex life that you want. Always stay strong in this mindset that no matter what, you will solve it. You will solve it because it is true. You will do it. And never go out of this mindset. Don't get complacent even if you think that you already overcome PE. Because the reality is that even when you're lasting a decent time, you may still mess up. You may be able to have sex sometimes for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and there are gonna be other days where you last 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 seconds again. That's normal. You're still in your process of learning to have total control over it, and it will reach that day, but in the time, you're probably gonna mess up sometimes, because I did. Even after that time that I lasted the 30 minutes, for like 4 times in a row, I lasted less than 1 minute. And because of that, I was thinking then that probably was a fluke. It was just a matter of luck. I'm gonna have to deal with this for the rest of my life. I almost fall prey of that victim mindset again. Today when I remember, I was still experiencing premature ejaculation because I stopped doing the things that helped me to reach to those 30 minutes. And that's when I changed my mind and I said, you know what? If I did it one time, I'm gonna be able to do it again. Let's go. That's part of the growth mindset. Even if you mess up, keep trying, because the only way to not solve this is just by not even trying. It's by not doing absolutely anything. Again, it doesn't matter what happened. Keep trying. Don't give up. Aim to be the best lover that you possibly can, to be able to last as much as you want and have total control over your ejaculation and the way that you make love with your woman. And remember that anytime that you feel hopeless or that it's not going to work, it's specifically in those moments when you keep trying that you're actually growing. A struggle is necessary for growth, and the more you face it, the closer you are to achieve what you want. I know that it's difficult, but what's on the other side is a beautiful and fulfilling sex life. Feeling like a real man and experiencing love and connection with the woman that you love, and never give up on achieving that. Keep working for it. Again, if you want to be able to fuck for hours and leave her biting her lips anytime that she thinks about you just because of how much of a great lover you are, go and click the link in the description right now, and that way we're gonna be able to work together in turning you into the man that blows her mind, body, and spirit. But besides that, man, I really hope this video helps you and brings you the motivation that you need. And I'll see you later.